Hey everybody, it's Justin Savoy here. Just want to do a quick review of the outfitting of the LiquidLogic boats. I've seen a couple videos of people doing walkthroughs on some of the new boats, but they don't really go into a lot of detail on the outfitting. This is LiquidLogic's badass outfitting, and I just want to take a minute to kind of go through all the different features of how the boat is set up from the factory and what you can expect if you're looking to buy a hot whip or an RMX or a sweet ride. Just going to show you what you're going to get and how cool it is. It has some pretty neat features that I really like, and I think I'm really going to enjoy this outfitting. So let's dive into it. So the first thing that you notice, the first thing that kind of hits your eye is this awesome seat cover. So LiquidLogic makes this fabric and sews this fabric in-house, and it's a moisture-resistant, moisture-wicking fabric that should keep this this outfitting pretty dry and pretty clean. I feel like at the end of the day of paddling, you can spray this off and sit your boat, you know, in the garage, or maybe you store your boats outside, but I feel like that's going to dry off. It looks like it's going to be really durable and weather resistant. I think this outfitting is going to last a long time. It's kind of just riveted to the seat pan there with some plastic rivets. I'm pretty sure that if you did wear this out, if it did fade, tear, snag, anything like that, you could probably replace this pretty easily. So let's check out something that's pretty neat. So LiquidLogic rolls this fabric from the seat pan over onto the cockpit rim, and they've actually got some Velcro for that to land on. The back of this thing's got Velcro, and so check this out. There's a little pocket there for your hip shims, and that's how you shim the boat out. So that shim has got Velcro on the back. The inside of the boat has got some plastic strips there. You can raise or lower that shim however you need it. You can add additional shims actually in front of it there, and then whenever you're ready, you just tuck this thing back over, press it down on the Velcro, and you're good to go. So here's something that's really neat about that setup. This fabric goes over the top of the boat, and as we all know, that is the place where your shoulder is going to land when you throw this boat over your shoulder. So how cool is that? You've got a built-in shoulder pad. I don't know about you, but I've had Piranha boats and Dagger boats, and that cockpit rim, Jackson too, they all cut into your shoulder, and that thing can hurt when you've got the boat loaded down, especially if you have a heavy creaker. That gets old if you've got a long walk. And so this is pretty cool. This is pretty ingenious, and they're the only manufacturer that's kind of solved that problem for you. So let's go back to the back band area here. So that seat fabric comes all the way up, wraps over the back band. You've got this Velcro on the back where it folds over the back band. If you fold it back, you can see the nice back band you've got here. And this thing is really padded out well. It's got some good padding and some stiff mesh on the front of it that gives it some thickness. And look how wide that strap is. So that strap for the back band is some hard plastic that's pretty substantial stuff. You know, I'd say that's what, an inch wide. And so, you know, a lot of the other manufacturers, they've got fabric here. Jackson's got the strings, and so that thing is pretty sturdy and substantial. I think that's going to provide some really good back support. One thing that is a little different, you don't have a lot of up and down motion in this thing. So it's kind of where it's set is where it is. But I think it's going to give you some good low back support. I think some of these back bands, the higher you get, I don't know about you, but I think that can interfere with your ability to roll. I was actually talking with Adam Gosshorn, the guy who runs downhill kayaking, and that was a conversation that we had around these back bands. You've got some really good anchor points here. So they built right into the seat pan. You've got some holes that you can put a beaner through. That's big enough for me to put my pinky through, so we can get a beaner in there. You can tie your float bags for your stern bags, or if you're doing some kayak camping, or you want to tie a dry bag up, anything that you want to store in the back of the boat, you've got those good anchor points there. And so then we just take that padding and just fold it back up. It lands on the Velcro behind it, and there you go. You've got it back the way it was. I'm going to grab my flashlight here and shine it on some of these other components so we get good light. So you've got your pretty standard ratchet straps. A lot of different manufacturers have those. You obviously open that buckle to adjust the ratchet, which pulls the back band snug around your back. Most everybody understands how that works. Those thigh braces are pretty substantial. That's thick plastic. They're pretty solid, pretty aggressive. They do adjust front and back. You've got two screws right here on the outside of the boat that are Phillips. And so you loosen those Phillips screws. You don't take them all the way out. You turn them back about 2 or 3 slots, and you've got a track inside this lip of the cockpit rim. I don't know if you can see that really well with the camera, but that whole assembly just slides forward and backwards. And so you just adjust that however you see fit as far as adjusting your thigh braces. And so then under that thigh brace, check this out. You've got some really good padding there. And then they've got this pad that goes all the way up against the plastic. It's a good place to land your thigh and your knee, so you're not right up against the plastic of the boat. Of course, you could pad that out more if you need to get a little snugger in the boat. This is a hot whip and comes in one size, and so everybody's going to be trying to fit in this thing. From bigger guys like me that are, you know, almost 6 feet, a little over 200 pounds, to some smaller fellas that may weigh 140, or some gals too. And so, yeah, you've got room to pad it out there. So check this out. I thought this is pretty neat. The bulkhead bracket here is actually blue anodized. I thought that was pretty neat. I guess that might help with some corrosion resistance, perhaps. It's really thick. I don't know if you can see how thick that bar is. Once again, that's about 1 inch wide, and it's got some pretty significant stiffness to it. Thumb screws are pretty big on it, and so that's going to be really easy to adjust, to loosen. There is only one stud. The dagger boats, the piranha boats that have these metal bulkheads, they usually have 2 studs that come through the side of the boat there and connect to that bar. I don't really see any concern or need for 2. I think it's going to be fine with 1. I don't think that'll be a concern. Check this out. So the actual foam foot block that comes with the boat is perforated, and it's ready for you to just tear off the strips to actually adjust the size of that foam foot block as you push it in the boat, and adjust that bulkhead front and back is how you need it. I thought that was really neat and ingenious, and it helps keep the boat, or makes the boat easier to set up, right? And everybody loves that. So in the center, we've got this foam pillar. So you've got this wall holder there on the front of the boat, and this foam pillar ties into that. That's a little bit of a ding. I would love it if LiquidLogic would have that hard plastic step out pillar like Dagger and Piranha have chosen to go with. I think that's a little safer, a little sturdier, a little better of a setup. But hey, this works. It suffices. I think it's going to protect you. In that wall holder there, that foam should keep the boat from being crushed if you should happen to be unfortunate and get pinned. This is really cool. You've got this nice little pan that connects to that foam that's in the wall holder there. And you've got to place an anchor point right up front here where you can anchor something in. Once again, that's pretty big, about the size of my pinky. You've got a bungee strap that you can put a throw rope. Check this out. So I've got actually just a water bottle that I picked up, pretty standard 20-ounce water bottle. And so under that seat pan, there's a little groove, a little cutout where that water bottle actually fits. So I can actually pull that water bottle out, and actually you can see there's a little cavity there, and there's a little piece of a bungee there that you can use to strap your water bottle in. I thought that was really cool. Makes a neat little setup right there to keep your water bottle in there. I thought that was pretty awesome. And so then adjusting the seat on this one is really easy too. It's just as easy as the thigh braces. You've got a couple screws here that you just back out a couple turns, and then that whole seat pan slides back and forth. There are no preset places on the track, on that track. It's not preset. You just adjust it however you see fit. So you're going to have to kind of eyeball it and use some sort of measuring. Let's see here. There is that little metal bracket that holds the back band there. You could probably use that to measure the seat pan when you're adjusting that seat forward and back, just as a reference to how far you are in front or behind that bracket. All right, guys. So that's got everything tucked in, and that's the outfitting. That's what LiquidLogic calls their badass outfitting, and I agree with them. That's pretty badass, guys. So tell me what you think. Leave some comments down below and let me know what you think about this outfitting, and if this excites you, if this is better or worse than any other manufacturer that you've seen. What could they improve? All right, guys. Thanks for watching.